Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. We're playing turn 39 and let's continue here a little bit. So first of all, everything down here has been taken care of for this turn, I suppose. I currently still have 22, 27. That's okay. I want to take a quick peek because I have what's going to happen is next turn we are going to have this 22nd. From map to Western Europe, that's the static division. So I got nothing going to the Balkans. If basically in Italy I can drop 3.9. And if I do that, I can take the 7 SS Mountain Division. So let's do that. We actually are 2.81 over the limit. So I should be able to send the 7th SS Mountain Division to the map anyway. Technically. No. Okay, so it actually counts for more. That's interesting. Well, it's okay. I'll just send those guys to the Balkans, and I still have you guys to also send there. The thing is, of course, that once the Africa Corps loses, we're gonna need a lot more units in Italy. But the thing is that currently that's completely unnecessary. So there's not really a whole lot to worry about here. And even here, like I'm at 99%. Like, what am I gonna lose, right? Maybe a victory point. Well, so be it. Anyway, let's continue. It's a real shame I can't put these guys over in there, because I definitely would. These guys are relatively weak. Ain't too much I can do about it. I need the 16th Panzer to go up here. And why is this HQ so high? I mean, this sucks. 10 Panzers, but I want to hold the line, so it feels quite necessary. And I do have another infantry coming in. Both of those are on refits. That's looking good. This is also looking reasonable. Not like the best. There we go. This is also looking fairly weak, but I have no reinforcements there. These guys at Bryansk. Not much to do there. Well, the thing is that what I can do is I can exchange the 7th Infantry Division for the 13th Panzer. So let's put these under the 9th Corps. And effectively, they should still be a bit stronger. Because that 13th Panzer is not doing very well. It definitely needs to get out. So the rest of these guys can stay there. This is holding marginally well. There we go. I know I'm weakening my units, but just giving these losses to the AI is, I think, definitely worth it. There. Okay, so I have a bunch of units at 8,000. These guys are at 62 as well. Just not doing well here. But I'll put the Luftwaffe Field Division in here. Just in case they decide to get frisky, they need another attack. You know, that's probably not going to be that great for them. I'm going to get the 254th to go to Bryansk, try to recuperate there. While I'm just... I'm just going to get all these guys refitted in Orel. I know that getting supplies to Orel is not the easiest. But it shouldn't be that bad. That deals with this area. Then this also sucks. But I can switch them out for the 5th Mountain, which has gotten some reinforcements. Really nice. They're at 11,000, so that's not that bad. But I'd still put them to Sukhanishki on a refit. Not only do they don't have that many combat prep points, but they're also extremely exhausted. Just like basically anybody else, but still. Let's see if they can make it together. Yeah, and that's a pretty good good attack there too. I'm a bit more reluctant to attack these, so I'm gonna have to be somewhat careful. I'm just gonna keep the rest of that line in place. Same pretty much there, although of course I did want to get the 20th motorized out. And they can just straight up not make it into Vyazma. What do we got in here? So, first of all, let's get the 383rd in Turgev out of the train. There are a few options here. I can send them further up. Well, actually, I think I'd rather send the 86th here. This is not that great because they're still below 10k. But I actually want to get a 383rd as reinforcements over in this sector to see what I can do there. Currently the 16th Army is already overburdened, so that is a bit of a problem. Just like 3rd Panzer Army has 44 out of 45. I'm just gonna have to accept it for the moment. And then once the winter is over, I guess at that point I'm gonna go for a big reorganization. These guys are also not doing very well at that, in the sense that they're overburdened. I need another HQ there, at least. It's for both. Okay. No. I'm gonna have to switch them up. First on my list of generals to switch up, though, is Manstein and von Victorin. Not really, but I have Manstein here under this motorized corps. It costs 14 to dismiss him, so I technically could do that, and I probably should, but it's on my to-do list basically. already did move up there, so I'm only looking at things down here. So I'm not like the 122nd is practically. Can they even do anything? Yeah, technically they could. But yeah, these guys too, they're gonna break on the next turn. Let's pull them back. I know that sucks. But it's just no good this way. And both of those are on rough. And I'm gonna send. Like, the reason why I want the rail to go down there is because I currently can't really send them any reinforcements because the closest I can get to is Novgorod, which is really far away. I will send the 305th there, but still, that's just not the best. So I really want to get this rail line running. Potentially, if I can hold on to Lichkovo, that would be great. They seem to be really pushing there, which I do find very interesting because they're quite weak up there. I don't know what they're trying to gain from this, but maybe once I get some new offensives going, things will be a bit different. Can you even? Yeah, okay, you can get in here. That's great. So then, not only can I get the 251st out, which I will. Let's just put you here. They're under the 39th Motorized Corps, so let's put you under the 39th Motorized Corps. Bam, fresh unit, very nice. Get the 251st out. Into Gatsk. And a 5 strength unit is strong enough to hold by themselves. So now I can also pull out the 212th and replace those with the 14th motorized. Now that least gives both of these a 2. These parts of Totenkopf are really weak at this point, which is a bit unfortunate. I actually think though that I'm better off getting this part here. I think that will slightly help ultimately. We'll see how that goes. There's still light woods at the very least. And it's really a shame that they pushed me out of those heavy woods. But you know, there's nothing to be done there. 7th Panzer still on rail in Vyazma. This Moscow Jaeger unit, I'll send it up there. It's still 4,000 men with you know, a couple of, yeah, it's fairly weak, but yeah, it might still serve some small purpose. Into the OKH with you. Cannot send them into Gatsk. Let's get them up Borodino then. Refit, refit. Let's put you under the OKH. Whoop. And I'll send that 20th motorized to Kaluga. It's at least a depot with a rail line. So I'll get them to refit there. And that should be it for what hopefully will be the last blizzard turn. Given that next turn is going to be cold, it's going to be 22nd of March already. So I hope we'll transition into the 2nd and or 3rd March weather table hex, I guess. I don't really know how to say it in it. Yeah, are there any more units that I need to shuffle around here? Certainly not you. These guys will move now. There we are. See, it's definitely worth doing a last check. Quite a lot of Italians there now. It's actually quite interesting if you think about it. Like all these German forces are holding out there in the middle of the winter, while these Italian forces just, I don't want to say they're chilling there, but sitting in there reorganizing certainly does seem to be a bit of an easier job than holding the line throughout months and months of winter. But don't take my word for it. Anyway, that seems to be it. Let's take a last look at the Axis reserves here. Just see what they got. Yeah, Stuck battery. To the map. What I want to do though is I need to go to the OKH and Minsk, and I want to look at their support elements. They have quite a few. So once the mod starts, I really want to go and have a closer look at which HQs need additional support, etc. And I will register that accordingly. But I'm gonna do that off screen, not right now. I know that technically I can improve my situation on the battlefield slightly by doing that already, but I personally feel like that's probably, you know, best preserved for a little bit of another time. Yeah, so let's go into the enemy turn. I'm also gonna send in more airplanes. So that too is something worth considering. If the blizzard is going to be removed, yeah, it already looks indeed like snowfall now, no longer like blizzard. So, regular snowfall does ultimately benefit me quite a bit there indeed. Okay, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, this is all snowfall now. Even up here. That's a lot of sorties, and it also shows that I really do need to start getting those fighter units in there at the very least. So I will definitely do that at the start of the next turn, because it's gonna be a bit more problematic otherwise. I think I pushed in there myself. One thing that I'm actually kind of hoping for is that the units that are down there will move up, simply because they feel like this is going to be a problem or something. The fact that they have two little forces there just makes it a little bit weird. Like, I can keep pushing quite heavily. And if they're gonna allow me to cut these guys off, that also, you know, it's gonna be weird for them. I have to say I'm fairly happy about that. Once again, at least at Mojaisk they held. I don't want to call Mojaisk the gateway to Moscow, but it is. I think one of those critical points leading up to it. Might retreat now. No? Well, pretty good. Perfect. Wow. $1,500, so they didn't even come close in that one. But then here, they do get a lot closer. This still sucks though, but the most important thing there is that I beat them back. If I'm lucky and they only attack now. Oh wow. That is seriously amazing. The fact that they held there is really, really good. I know we still have snow there, so yeah. Hold. It's nothing to scoff at, but wow. Yeah, that's off. Interesting, by the way, to see that the Russians can see the Italians there. Really pushing against Das Reich, not going anywhere. Sometimes I kind of wonder where those forces come from. Like, they must have been on a second line there. Sweet. Haven't lost a hex so far. That's gonna change, but I do have to say that over the turns, especially these last few, I started liking my winter progress a lot more than I did before. Okay. I mean, I would have preferred maybe a slightly bigger line along those, especially along Ural and Kursk. Like maybe 2 or maybe even 3 hexes further to the east, but That's okay. And then in the north, it would have been nice if my units would have held there, but that was a very far stretch either way because the supply hubs were just so far off from the amount of hexes that the Soviets gave me. That it's really not surprising that it ultimately did not hold. This is pretty risky now. I mean, I have some areas with level 1 forts, which I'm actually surprised about. Yeah, of course I snagged me some 70k Soviet troops around there. It was a pretty easy grab, so I felt also that it was pretty good to do so. And I also have this double line running here, which I also really appreciate. I mean, I haven't fixed it up yet, but I should be able to soon do that. That's I think pretty valuable. It will allow me to get a depot either in Izium or here. I don't believe anything of this runs along any river line. They did do a pretty big number on the 5th Light Division there, though. Yeah, okay, well, that... 66,000. Wow. How did they get so much movement in there either way? So weird sometimes. Yeah, okay. I mean, in terms of my capabilities of holding out in terms of defenses, it's end of the line. There's no doubt about that. Like, I personally really do feel like it's time to go into spring mode here. Where are they? They are attacking the Panzer Division. Sorry, like, why am I... why am I losing tanks? But that's the Panzers. Surprised they were able to muster up not get enough forces, but it seems like my tactic of moving both Panzer divisions in there was pretty good because they did hold the line. So indeed, they were able to, even though it did cost me 15 Panzers in the end, I think for that, to pay the price of holding the line, I think that's fair. Okay. This Slovakian mobile division is not doing well. Hold, please. Thanks. This is why I have those tanks there. Good. Interesting to see them sneak through the line there as well. Might give me an opportunity if they don't get them out well. Still holding out. Yes, okay. Might see an attack or two still. If they don't take fall die, I would be glad to move back in there. I'll have to see because I cannot do anything with those forces in Selezarovo. Definitely. But they don't. Okay. This is their final position. As far as final positions go. For this turn. March 22nd. Alright. Turn 40. We've come a long way. But we're not there yet. Certainly not there yet. It's funny how Torzhok and maybe Kalinin also to some extent have become the kind of like the Rezhev, the historical Rezhev, in the sense that they're desperately holding out down there. Or up there, I should say. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that I did give up Volokolamsk. I really wanted to hold it. You know, at least those three. Maloyaroslavets, Možaisk, and Volokolamsk. I don't know, they're just... because they're always so they're important in these in any games really where you're gonna try and take Moscow. These are always the 3 points that you're taking first. So yeah, to be able to hold those, it's also it's more for coolness points than anything else, but still. All right, sweet. AI logistics done. Let's take a look. So, same amount of victory points, events, yeah. Luhansk, Soviet, okay. UK rationing becomes worse. In March of 1942, United Kingdom institutes rationing of electricity, coal, and gas. Central heating is prohibited in the summer months. The clothing ration is decreased as well. From March to May, severe measures were introduced which restricted the number of buttons, pockets, and pleats on clothes. By 1942, in the United Kingdom, children between the ages of 5 and 7 had become used to wartime restrictions. When questioned about bananas, many did not believe such items existed. War balloons. On March 20, 1942, Operation Outward begins. This was the name given to the British World War II program to attack Germany by means of free-flying balloons. It made use of cheap, simple balloons filled with hydrogen. They carried either a trailing steel wire intended to damage high-voltage power lines by producing a short circuit, or incendiary devices that were intended to start fires in fields, forests, and heathland. A total of 99,142 outward balloons were launched. Compared to Japan's better-known fire balloons, outward balloons were crewed. They had to travel a much shorter distance, so they flew at a lower altitude. 16,000 feet compared to Japan's fire balloons, 38,000 feet. They had only a simple mechanism to regulate altitude by means of dropping ballast or venting lifting gas. This meant the balloons were simple to mass produce and cost only 35 shillings each. The free-flying balloon attacks were highly successful, although difficult to assess exactly. They had an economic impact on Germany far in excess of the cost to the British government. Good for them. Let's take a look here. So we currently still have heavy snow throughout a relatively large portion, and the rest is just regular snow. That seems to not change on the ground. If we look at the weather air, it's gonna go from regular snowfall in most of these areas to cold in all areas on the next turn. If we're looking at the weather table, we're currently in the middle of March for most of it, whereas we're in humid warm in the very south, which will turn to rain slightly earlier. But that does become interesting. Seems like the Soviets have recovered quite well from my little endeavor. Huh. But there might be an opportunity there. Just some slight opportunity. If you look at the numbers, Soviets now above 4 million. Though I mean, they did get a little bit less here. Manpower losses, of course, last turn a lot higher than they were before. Whereas ours are dropping, potentially because we're no longer taking attrition losses. For the most part. Interesting that on those. Huh. Mariupol. Well, judging by that, you would say that. Yeah, ground heavy mod, indeed. Water 9. So there are a few hexes here which have that. That major river is still completely frozen. Also appears to be a lot of water now, so it seems to start getting very close to turning into mud. Like we also have in some of those areas. Did get another reinforcement. But nothing there. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. I want to thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Yeah, exactly. Take care. See you then. Bye-bye.